Where are you from?
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Still living there?
Yeah.
Is it a certain part of Winston-Salem you rep?
I rep for the whole city, but I mean, I grew up on the east side.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. Now, if somebody's never heard of Winston-Salem before, what's the closest major city that somebody might know?
Charlotte and Greensboro.
And how far is Charlotte from Winston-Salem?
About 45 minutes.
Not very far. Now, what was it like for you growing up in Winston-Salem? Can you paint the picture for us?
Shit, I ain't gonna say it was easy, but it wasn't, I ain't gonna say it was exactly hard either, because I had older people around me to help take care of me and stuff that I could learn from. I could learn from their mistakes and stuff, so it wasn't that hard.
Growing up, was it rough for you?
Yeah, kinda. Me and my mom and my brothers, we was homeless for maybe 3 years. I had to do some things I ain't really want to do before.
I see. Street stuff?
Yeah.
Now, there's different levels of homelessness, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, probably the lightest level of homelessness is probably, you know, jumping from house to house, couch to couch. That's probably the lightest form of homelessness. But then there's levels where it gets worse than that. Yeah. There's living out of a car, there's living in a shelter, there's living on the street, there's begging for money. I mean, there's different levels to homelessness. Can you describe what type of level you were on? How bad was it at your worst point of the homelessness?
Well, the worst point, we stayed at a hotel. It was really a motel, a cheap motel. I was in like the 7th grade, 12 years old.
I've heard of that too. 3 years of homelessness is quite a long time. Yeah. How did you guys get out of that? How does one get out of being homeless?
We ain't have no choice, but it was either stay in a bad position or get on your feet, you know what I'm saying, hustle and all of that, so. Wasn't nobody trying to struggle forever. Yeah,
I see. Now, you mentioned you did some things you didn't want to do. You were in the streets, safe to say. Now, being in the streets is a very risky thing, right? There's obviously consequences that can come from it. Violence may come from it. Imprisonment, like jail or prison time, can come from that. Was that, for you, unavoidable? Was that the only route? Could you have gone another route? Looking back and reflecting.
I probably could have, because I was the only person to graduate high school in my family in like maybe 20 or 30 years. So I probably should have did a lot better for myself, but it's like when that's all you see growing up and that's all you really know, you know what I'm saying? You don't really see nobody else doing anything else, and that's all you can really see yourself doing in the future. That's all you see other older men doing.
I've heard some people tell me the same thing. Now, any regrets on dealing with the streets?
Yeah, probably. I can't say it was a regret, but I got myself into some shit one time, and I took my daughter to the park, and this dude I was beefing with over some bullshit, he almost shot me and my daughter.
Was it worth it? Not that instant, but was dealing with the streets in your history of it, was it worth it or no?
I would say it's not worth it because I don't have anything to show for what I've been doing all these years, you know what I'm saying?
Now, you said you had a rough upbringing. Was the homelessness your roughest point, or was there a worser point than that growing up?
That's the worst financial point, but I would say when I was in the 12th grade, I was at a real low point. I was really, I tried to kill myself one time.
Really?
Yeah.
How close were you?
I don't even know, honestly. I had passed out from taking too many pills.
Oh, okay. That was the method you were trying to do it.
Yeah, I didn't want to, yeah.
What happened? Did somebody see you, did you overdose and somebody find you and get you hospitalized, or?
Okay, it was like, I wasn't even at home because I didn't spend a lot of time at home, but I had muscle relaxers, that's what they were.
Okay.
I ended up taking about 9 or 10 of them.
And what happened? You just passed out?
I could feel it for about maybe an hour. I could feel myself getting drowsier and drowsier about a minute. And next thing I knew, I just woke up.
In a hospital or no?
I woke up at home.
Oh, okay. So you tried to kill yourself and you didn't kill yourself.
No, it didn't work for some reason.
And what did you take that? Did anybody else know about this?
My best friend at the time, she was a female, and my mother.
Did they try to get you help? Did they try to get you to talk to somebody about suicide and suicide prevention and stuff like that?
I wouldn't have done it anyway.
I see. Now, that is a very tough thing to go through. Did you have your daughter at that time?
No, I had my daughter after high school, like right out of high school.
I see. How did your family react to the to suicide you tried to do?
My family not that close-knit. We don't really talk to each other that much, but so we don't really express our feelings the way we feel to each other that much either. So I never really talked to nobody about it. That's probably what my problem was, not talking to people.
I see. I got you. Now, somebody, and I want to go through a couple things with you. I want you to dish out some advice, right? Somebody watching this thinking about suicide. They haven't done it yet, but they're thinking about it. What do you tell a person like that?
I would tell them that's weak-minded, because if you're killing yourself over a situation you're going through in life, you always got to, you still got tomorrow to change that situation, and your life would be better, and you ain't got to do that no more.
And then also with the homelessness, I forgot to ask you your advice on that. Somebody going through homelessness themselves, what do you tell a person like that going through it?
Well, they have to tell themselves either you're going to be homeless and struggle forever, or you're going to have to bust your ass and hustle.
Any advice on trying to get them on, to do the first step to get out? What would you tell them?
It's really up to you. You got to have that in your mind and stay focused.
Now, growing up in school, what type of student were you in school?
I ain't had that many friends till I got to high school.
Why not?
I used to have, I honestly don't know. Probably because kids don't take the, stuff too well. Smaller kids. I used to have to fight a lot in school. That's how I learned how to fight, going to school by myself.
You were the bully, you were the aggressor, or you were defending yourself?
I was always defending myself.
Why would people want to start fights with you?
They'd be bullying me about my arm and shit like that, bullying me about my shoes, my clothes, everything, anything they could talk about.
Now, we don't have your arm pictured in this interview, but I don't know if you want to show your arm or not. Yeah, we got it on camera. What exactly happened to your arm? It's skinnier than your other arm, and I guess your hand is, I don't know, it's like it's frozen.
It's my nerves.
Oh, it's like it's stuck in a certain place or certain spot. It's like almost like it's frozen in time or frozen in place.
Yeah, it's my nerves actually. I fell out of a car when I was 7 years old, and if I would have went to school that day, it probably wouldn't have happened because I would have been on a school bus. But I mean, you can't change the past, but the doctor actually messed it up going in there doing some kind of surgery, fucked up my nerves. Then they didn't give me no money, but like they gave me like $10,000 and sent me on my way. That ain't nothing for fucking up somebody's life, you ask me.
Now, okay, so explain the situation. You just fell out of a car?
Well, I was in the front seat of an older car. It was real fucked up. Probably didn't even have an inspection or nothing. I was riding with, my uncle. Okay.
And the door just gave out and you just flew out?
It just swung open on like.
While you were driving?
Well, he was driving doing about 50, 55, something like that.
And the door just opened up and you just
Fell right out, yeah.
Didn't have your seatbelt on.
No, and I shouldn't have been sitting in the front seat at 7 years old, probably.
Ah, good point. And why were you not in school? Were you cutting class?
I don't know why I wasn't in school.
I see. So, okay, you get into the accident. What happens at that point? You're tossed out, and is your arm broken or not moving at that point? Are you?
It was, I couldn't feel it. I just know next thing I know, I woke up in the middle of the street. I couldn't feel my arm then. I fell back asleep and woke back up in the hospital. Like my head was busted open. This whole side of my body was fucked up.
It's crazy that you remember this because when I was 7 years old, I can't even remember what I was doing at 7 years old. It's crazy that you remember these details.
I guess because it was so traumatic.
How long were you in the hospital for?
About 2 weeks.
So they do an operation on you?
Yeah, they did.
And because of the operation, your arm is in the current shape it's in?
Yeah, because of the operation.
Because of, I guess, nerve damage?
Yeah.
How did you know it was the operation and not
Well, the doctors actually admitted it and gave us a settlement.
I see. And instead of maybe you getting an attorney and trying to fight it, they offered you
$10,000. But I was 10 years old when the court case came about.
Right. So I guess your parents or your guardian,
I guess they probably did. So
made the decision to accept the money and keep it moving.
Probably.
Now, because of that, is it called something? Is it a certain phrase for what you have? It's
a brachial plexus injury.
And that's for life?
Well, if I had physical therapy, I could have. It'll probably come back somewhat. But when I was a kid, we couldn't afford health insurance, so I couldn't get physical therapy. And now I done lived my whole life like this, learn how to fight like this and everything else. So I never really cared since I've been an adult.
Mm. Now, do you hide it? Are you wearing long shirts and jackets to hide it? Today you're in a short sleeve shirt, but you were in a jacket earlier.
Yeah, I'm just used to that because sometimes I be trying to conceal myself so people don't look at me and like look right at me and know who I am. Because then, you know what I'm saying? Somebody can just look at my arm and know who I am from far back. Sometimes I try to stay low key, but it's just a habit now. But I don't got nothing to hide though. When I was a kid, I used to try to hide it a lot, but I stopped caring because I'm gonna be who I am anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Mm. Does the arm stop you from doing anything? I mean, it's your left arm. Are you right-handed naturally?
Yeah, I'm right-handed. I actually played football. I played basketball in high school until I got in some trouble that I had to quit the basketball team, but I ain't never let it stop me from doing anything.
Not worried about getting tackled in the wrong spot and maybe breaking your arm or hurting your arm?
If it happened, it just happened, you know what I'm saying? I've been hurt so many times. I know if I get hurt, I'm gonna be all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that.
Well, good thing is you are right-handed. So if it was the opposite, that probably would even make it even worse than what it already is.
Yeah, it probably would have been a little harder.
Yeah, more of a struggle for you.
Yeah.
But is there anything you can't do because of your arm? Or can you pretty much do everything?
I feel like I can do everything. I don't like to put limitations on myself.
Mm. What about when it comes to, obviously you were bullied growing up, so that is a consequence of, you know, the situation. But what about when it comes to dating women and, you know, sex?
Women don't care, man, I'm telling you.
Never been an issue for you?
It's been an issue before, but enough of them don't care to the point where it don't even matter to me.
Okay. Because I'm sure somebody that's going through this, maybe not your age, maybe younger than you, is watching this wondering, is my life over because...
But it's really about your confidence. If you don't have no confidence in yourself, you feel me, you can't do nothing.
Now, how long did it take for you to get that confidence, or did you have that from the start?
It took me a long time because I had to, I guess, go through enough bullshit to know I'm gonna be like this anyway, you feel me? So I'm gonna do me regardless. I don't really care what nobody think of me. I had to get that in my head, though.
Now, obviously, you're a rapper. You're in the rap music career. Do people look at you differently because of your arm? Do people feel sorry for you? What do you think?
I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me because I feel like I make better music than a lot of people put out right now.
I see. Has it been an issue for you in your career?
No, not at all.
Have we seen a person of handicap like that?
Yeah, the dude in 3-6 Mafia, one
Oh,
of the
yes.
Yin Yang twins.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You said Yin Yang twins?
Yeah, one of them, the taller one.
Really? He's got a
Exact same injury.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You do bring a good point. DJ Paul
the
from
dude
3-6 Mafia.
with Kevin Gates, what's his name? Oh, wait, well, it's not the exact same. OG Booby Black.
Yeah, OG Booby Black is actually missing an arm.
Yeah, I know, but you
His
know
arm
what I'm
was
saying?
amputated. Yeah, but
It's the same struggle.
same struggle, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have the arm than not have it?
I don't even care at this point. I feel like this kind of it's part of who I am now.
I see. Does it ever get in the way? Like, if they said you need to amputate the arm and get rid of it.
They can kiss my ass.
No, but what I'm saying is you could function just how you are without the arm?
Probably, yeah.
I see. Brings up a good point. You know, I forgot about DJ Paul. I didn't know about the Yin Yang twins.
Yeah, you gotta look real good.
Guy. And OG Booby Black. Totally forgot. He's missing an arm, yeah. And we have seen other I'm not gonna lie. They not my favorite rappers or nothing, but they helped me build a little bit of my confidence and let me know I can do this. And I was just going to say, there are some rappers that do have some other handicaps that not the arm issue, but like Fetty Wap, he's missing an eye, and he doesn't hide it. He just lets it go, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't wear an eye patch or anything. It is what it is. So we've seen people be successful and make it in rap with a disability or a handicap.
Yeah, I feel like I'm already successful.
Now, do you get the handicap sticker driving with the car and all that?
I don't even get disability.
You don't get disability?
I don't get me nothing.
Why not? How does one not, like yourself, able to draw disability?
I'm not gonna lie, I applied before, but they said because both of my arms not in a bad condition. I guess that's just North Carolina laws or something, I don't know. But
Different states, it can be different laws?
Yeah, they can keep their money now.
Very confident. That's a very confident statement. Now, did you rap in school growing up?
Well, actually, I wrote my first song when I was 8 years old, but I never hit a studio and recorded till I was 21 or 22.
Why so long?
Nobody never really gave me a chance. And then I started with one engineer, and me and him kind of fell out. So I engineer myself now, I master myself and everything.
Now, but okay, even though you weren't in the studio in school, were you writing? Were you rapping? Were you battling other classmates at all, or no?
I mean, I was always writing songs since I was in the 3rd grade, probably.
Okay. Now, you graduated high school.
Yes.
Did you try college?
I did go to college. I earned 10 credits. So far, I was majoring in business administration, but I dropped out for this.
For the music?
Yeah, to focus on this.
Looking back, was that the right decision?
Yeah, it was.
Do you wish you would have never gone to college in the first place and just went straight to the music?
No,
or did you need that experience?
Yeah, I needed that experience. I don't regret nothing.
Okay. All right, so this brings me to 2 scenarios that I'd like some additional advice from you on. One, let's say a kid is watching this and they're about to finish high school. And let's say they have because you know, you had a little street history, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they have 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in school. They're about to graduate high school and they got to make the next decision in their life. What do you tell a kid like that?
Take your ass to school and graduate.
Well, they're about to graduate. But what I'm saying is after graduation's over, they got to make the next decision in their life. What do you tell a kid like that?
I say stay in school and keep getting your education because ain't nothing in the streets but nothing at all.
Now, another scenario. Let's say there's a kid in school, just graduated, okay? Let's say they have a passion for music, and they got to make the next choice in their life. What do you tell a kid that's passionate for music to do next? I mean, different scenarios, of course, everybody's going through different things, but overall, what's the advice there? Do you tell a person like that, go straight into the music industry, music business?
I mean, with music,
or do you tell a person, continue their education and do music at the same time if they can? What do you tell somebody like that?
Well, music is different. You can continue your education and do music at the same time. I might not have did that, but hey, I don't always make smart decisions. Don't follow my footsteps.
What was your parents' thinking or reaction when you dropped out of college?
They was probably real disappointed in me because, like I told you, I was the only kid to finish high school. But I got my own vision.
What college did you attend?
And I went to Forsyth Tech, South University. I went to Colorado Tech University, and I went to Everest. I got 10 credits so far.
So what is that? Freshman, sophomore?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, okay. That's dropped out as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Now, my next question to you is, did you have any jobs growing up?
I did have jobs before. I worked at a movie theater. Couldn't do that shit because they was only giving me hours on the weekend. That wasn't enough money for me then. I was making minimum wage. That's when I was 16 years old. Back then, minimum wage was $6.55. I couldn't do it.
Was that the only job you had?
No, I worked. After I had my daughter, I got another job. I worked at Wal-Mart for about 2 months. Lost that job. I got on at a temp agency and fucked that job up too.
Were you fired from these jobs or were you quitting these jobs?
I quit only the movie theater job because it wasn't enough hours. The other ones fired me.
Because?
Well, I was fired from Walmart because, okay, this is a crazy story. My daughter was about to be born when they hired me. I tried to take days off to go see her be born while I was in the hospital. They fired me. Wow.
Are they allowed to do that?
I guess because I wasn't there for 90 days, so call in and request days off. That's why they fired me. And in North Carolina, when they let you go from a job, they don't have to give you a reason why they fire you.
Okay.
That's North Carolina law.
And the other job you were fired for what?
The temp agency?
Yeah.
Well, they tried to short me on my hours, and I kind of cussed the lady out. They still ain't paid me for all my hours.
They still owe you for a check.
Yep.
Now, were any of those jobs you mentioned tough?
No.
Just curious. Now, you mentioned your mother in this interview. What happened with your father?
Oh, my father was around, but he didn't live with us, so we didn't have that much contact, but he was still around.
Do you have a good relationship with him today?
Yeah, we had a good relationship.
So, what age were you when they separated?
They separated before I could even remember.
Did you have another male figure in your life?
My uncle. And I got an older brother, but me and my older brother wasn't that close growing up.
Why not?
I have no idea. We just used to fight all the time.
Just two opposite?
I guess so.
Now, it sounds like you've been through a lot. In regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through?
Worst thing I put my parents through? Man, when I was in the 9th grade, I got caught up in some shit. I was really breaking the fight up, but they had me, I'm already on a gang task force with the police in my city, so I broke a fight up between these two dudes, but since one of the dudes lived in my neighborhood, they tried to say it was like a gang initiation, but that's really not what it was. I ended up getting kicked out of school for that. A week later, I was only 14 when this happened. A week later, my parents catch me selling weed. It was just that whole period of me, when I was 14, I was putting them through a lot of shit.
I see. Did you have to do alternative school?
Well, when I got kicked out of school, I wasn't going to no schools because it was such a serious incident. The dude, they broke his nose and cracked the back of his skull because he was standing against a brick wall when he got punched.
Yikes. But eventually you went back to public school?
Yeah, I ended up getting back in school.
Didn't have to do the alternative school route?
No, when they kicked me, I couldn't go to no schools, period.
Yeah. But when they did let you back in, you didn't have to go to the
I was right back
alternative.
in public school.
Yeah, you could go back to the main school. You mentioned an older brother?
Yeah.
Any other siblings or just him?
I have 2 older sisters, and then my older brother, and I have 1 younger brother.
Okay. Anybody else in your family raps aside from you or just yourself?
I got a few cousins that I don't really know like that, but they rap too.
So, since you don't know them like that, I assume you haven't collabed with them yet?
No, not yet, but I plan on it.
What does your family think about your rap career?
I know they didn't think I'd make it as far as I have so far.
Parents supportive or no?
Yeah, they supportive now that I showed them some of my accomplishments.
So not right away, they had to warm up to it?
Yeah, I had to show them I could actually do something. Because there's a lot of people in my city that know not to down talk on none of them or nothing, because, I mean, I hope they make it too, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that's around my city that get satisfied with the local thing, you know what I'm saying?
Have they heard your music?
My dad listens to my music all the time, and my mom, I know she heard it at least once, but my dad like it.
Even with the cursing?
Yeah, even with, I mean, they don't have a problem with that.
Have they ever had a chance to see you perform?
Not yet.
Now, we spoke about a variety of subjects in regards to your upbringing, but overall speaking, what's your message to the youth? What would you tell them today?
Be yourself. Don't fall for the dumb shit. And make sure whatever you do in life is gonna be something that's not gonna get you in no trouble, and that's gonna make your family happy and make your family rich and shit like that.